The Safavid Dynasty, 1501 to 1736, transformed Persia by establishing Shi'a Islam as the state religion, distinguishing it from its Sunni neighbors. Originating as a Sufi order in Ardabil, the Safavids rose to power under Shah Ismail, who unified Persia and enforced Shi'ism. The empire reached its peak under Shah Abbas the Great, who strengthened the military, fostered trade, and made Isfahan a cultural and architectural marvel. Persian art, carpets, and literature flourished under Safavid patronage. Let's travel to the history. After centuries of rule by various dynasties, each leaving its mark on Persian culture and history, the 16th century brought a new and transformative force, the Safavid Empire. The Safavids not only established one of the most significant Persian empires since ancient times, but they also did something revolutionary, making Shi'a Islam the state religion of Persia. This decision redefined the region's identity, distinguishing it from its Sunni neighbors and setting Persia on a unique historical path. The story of the Safavids begins not in the halls of royalty but in a quiet, religious community in Ardabil, in northwestern Persia. This was the home of the Safavid order, a Sufi religious group founded by Sheikh Safi al-Din, a revered spiritual leader. Though originally Sunni, the Safavid order gradually adopted Shi'a beliefs, which emphasized the importance of Ali, the cousin and son-in-law of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, as the rightful successor to the Prophet. Over time, the Safavid order grew in influence and attracted many followers, especially in the Turkic regions of Persia. By the early 1500s, the Safavid leader Ismail, a young and charismatic figure, began to consolidate his power. Inspired by his ancestors' spiritual authority and a fierce devotion to Shi'a Islam, Ismail united the various Turkic tribes of Persia and set his sights on the Persian throne. In 1501, Ismail captured Tabriz, one of Persia's key cities, and declared himself the Shah of Persia. This marked the birth of the Safavid dynasty, and from that point on, Ismail made it his mission to transform Persia into a Shi'a state. He proclaimed Shi'a Islam as the official religion, a move that would have lasting effects on Persian society and culture. When Ismail made Shi'a Islam the state religion, he was doing something no previous Persian ruler had done. The majority of the Islamic world was Sunni, and Persia had historically followed Sunni Islam as well. By enforcing Shi'a Islam, Ismail was not only creating a distinct religious identity for Persia but also challenging the Sunni Ottoman Empire, a powerful neighbor to the west. Ismail's policies were revolutionary and often met with resistance. Shi'a Islam was not widely practiced in Persia at the time, so the Safavid rulers embarked on a vigorous campaign to convert the population. Scholars and preachers were brought in to spread Shi'a teachings, while Sunni practices were discouraged. Shi'a holidays and ceremonies became state-endorsed events, with Ashura, the commemoration of Imam Hussein's martyrdom, being particularly emphasized. This process of Shi'ization took generations, but by the end of the Safavid era, Persia had become predominantly Shi'a, establishing a religious identity that endures to this day. The Safavid emphasis on Shi'a Islam also reshaped Persian culture. Poetry, art, and literature began to reflect Shi'a themes, with works exploring the lives and martyrdoms of the imams, figures deeply revered in Shi'a Islam. This religious shift made Persia distinct within the Islamic world, setting it apart from Sunni regions and giving it a unique cultural and religious identity that still defines modern Iran. While Ismail founded the Safavid dynasty, it was Shah Abbas I who would lead it to its zenith. Shah Abbas, often called Abbas the Great, came to power in 1588 and quickly set about strengthening and expanding the empire. He reorganized the military, developed a centralized administration, and established a system of loyal governors to maintain order across the empire. His reign marked the height of the Safavid Empire's power and influence. Shah Abbas moved the capital to Isfahan, transforming it into one of the most splendid cities of the Islamic world. The city became a showcase of Safavid art, architecture, and culture. Its grand mosques, palaces, and bazaars displayed the artistry and craftsmanship that defined the Safavid era. The centerpiece was the Imam Square, a massive open plaza surrounded by elegant buildings, including the Shah Mosque, which is renowned for its intricate tilework and towering minarets. Isfahan became known as half the world, a city so magnificent that it was said to contain half the beauty of the world within its borders. Shah Abbas was a patron of the arts and encouraged the development of Persian painting, pottery, carpet weaving, and calligraphy. Persian miniatures flourished under his patronage, with intricate paintings depicting scenes from Persian literature, court life, and Shi'a religious stories. Safavid carpets, with their vibrant colors and detailed designs, became highly sought after in Europe and Asia. Persian artisans refined their techniques, creating carpets and textiles that were prized throughout the world and became symbols of Persian luxury and elegance. Under Shah Abbas, Persia also experienced a period of religious tolerance. Although Shi'a Islam was the state religion, Christians, Jews, and even Sunnis found relative freedom within the empire. Shah Abbas invited Armenian merchants to settle in Isfahan, recognizing their valuable trade connections with Europe. He built a neighborhood for the Armenians, known as New Julfa, which became a bustling center of commerce. This cosmopolitan atmosphere helped Persia thrive as a hub of international trade and cultural exchange. The Safavids' primary rival was the Ottoman Empire, a Sunni power to the west that saw Shi'a Persia as both a religious and political threat. The two empires fought numerous wars, with the Ottomans often gaining the upper hand due to their larger and more powerful army. Despite the ongoing conflict, there were also periods of peace, during which the Safavids sought alliances with European powers as a counterbalance to Ottoman dominance. Shah Abbas understood the importance of diplomacy and cultivated relationships with European nations, including Spain, England, and the Netherlands. European traders and diplomats were welcomed in Isfahan, and the Safavids negotiated trade agreements and military alliances, hoping to gain an edge against the Ottomans. Persian silk, ceramics, and carpets were highly valued in Europe, and the Safavids used their control over these goods to strengthen their economy and gain diplomatic leverage. This strategic diplomacy helped to secure Persia's position as a significant player on the world stage. The Safavid Empire became a bridge between East and West, facilitating the exchange of goods, ideas, and technologies. European interest in Persia grew, and travelers marveled at the wealth and sophistication of the Safavid court, further enhancing Persia's reputation. Despite its accomplishments, the Safavid Empire eventually fell into decline. After the death of Shah Abbas in 1629, the empire began to weaken. His successors lacked his leadership skills and failed to maintain the same level of control over the government and military. Corruption and internal conflicts grew, weakening the central authority and leaving Persia vulnerable to external threats. In 1722, a devastating blow came when Afghan tribes, led by Mahmud Hotak, launched an invasion of Persia. The weakened Safavid forces were unable to repel the invaders, and Mahmud Hotak's troops captured Isfahan, marking the end of effective Safavid rule. Although the Safavid dynasty lingered on for a few more years, it never recovered its former strength. While the Safavid Empire ultimately collapsed, its legacy endured. The Safavid dynasty established Shi'a Islam as the foundation of Persian identity, a defining feature of Iran that remains to this day. This shift had profound effects on Persian society, culture, and politics, shaping the way Persia related to its neighbors and to the rest of the Islamic world. The Safavid era also left a lasting impact on Persian art, architecture, and literature. The Safavid architectural style, with its emphasis on symmetry, color, and grandeur, influenced later Persian buildings and continues to be admired around the world. Persian carpets, miniature paintings, and calligraphy from this period are celebrated as masterpieces of Islamic art. By fostering a unique Shi'a Persian identity, the Safavids laid the foundation for modern Iran's cultural and religious landscape. Their legacy lives on in Iran's traditions, religious practices, and architectural heritage, a testament to their role in shaping the history and identity of Persia.